Good morning, Spirit Whispers. Good morning, good morning. I hope you all are doing well. It is 5:41 Eastern Standard Time, AM, and today's going to be a little different. I wasn't necessarily pulled up, how I've explained before, where I get those, where I'm being pulled. Hold on 1 second, I have to get my, okay, there we go. I almost forgot. I'm not necessarily being pulled up today to do a reading on Nancy. I was watching Ashley Banfield, a little bit of her clip this morning, and while I was watching it, I thought, well, you know what, a couple things that she said, and I probably maybe watched 20 minutes of it. I haven't watched the full video yet, but I do plan on watching it once I'm done here. And she made a very good point that I want to talk about, and we are going to use the SPI, and I am going to focus. We are talking about Nancy, so I'm going to focus my energy on her, but I want to talk about the poor job that was done. Some of you may agree and some of you may disagree. Some of you may, have your own opinions and views about how this has been going, and that's perfectly fine. We can have our own opinions respectfully, and that's perfectly okay. We're not always going to agree on everything. Today is March 6th. Okay, Nancy was abducted or kidnapped on February 1st. And it's been over a month since she was taken from her home. We still don't know what happened. There have been so many theories and ideas of what's happened. And personally, I don't feel like we're any closer to an answer than we were a month ago. At this point, it is going to be a recovery, not a rescue. I wish that wasn't the case. However, that is the feeling I'm getting. We know that Nancy has come through the SPI a couple times, and I do believe she probably came through a couple times on the Spirit Talker. It's heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking how this is played out. I also found some information that Savannah has gone back to New York, which is to be expected. I mean, she does have a family there. She needs to be with her family. She did pay a visit to the Today Show. She went. She didn't work. She didn't go there to work. She just went there to, see her TV family, and I'm sure they had a lot of questions. It's just so sad, and I was really hoping when I first heard about the kidnapping. I was really hoping that we were going to find her within days. Whether it was a rescue or a recovery, I was really hoping we were going to find her within days. You know, we're talking about Arizona heat. And we know, given the environment and the weather conditions, that when somebody goes missing and you don't find them after a certain point, usually it becomes a recovery and not a rescue. And they need to keep looking. Don't give up. Because she does need to be found, and she needs to be brought home so her family can lay her to rest and just have their mother back. I want to talk about the LPD, and I know a lot of you have your own opinions and theories, and that's perfectly fine. Please share them. I want to hear what you think in the comments. I think that from the very beginning, they did a horrible job. I'm just being honest. When you get a phone call that an 84-year-old woman is missing, the first thing they thought of was she roamed off, got confused, was lost, what have you. It wasn't until, and from what I understand, they didn't get there right away. And it wasn't until they noticed the blood droplets and the back door opened that they started taking it seriously. The times that they're giving when all this happened, you know, because they're going off the pacemaker when that lost signal with her phone. They're going off the timeline of, you know, the following day was a Sunday. She should have been to church and she wasn't in church. I thank God every day that her church friends, her church family knew to call and report her missing, because Nancy, we're all creatures of habit, and Nancy was a religious person, and church meant a lot to her. She went every Sunday. She was a member of this church for many, many years. And, you know, when COVID hit, everything shut down. And so people were learning how to still do their grocery shopping, pay their bills, still go to church virtually. And from what I understand is, after everything reopened, she never went back to church. She just continued to do it virtually, which is what I do. Because I am disabled, I'm unable to drive. I do my church virtually. I don't go directly to my church anymore. So when she didn't show up that morning, I guess from what I understand is her and a few of her church friends, her church family, would gather at one house and they would all watch it together. And she didn't show up. And that was unlike Nancy not to show up for church. And so thank God that a member of her church had the right mindset to call her missing, to call in that she was missing. However, the LPD didn't take it seriously. You know, they just figured that this was another elderly person who wandered off, which I get. You know, you have to think of all scenarios. Is it Alzheimer's? Does this person have dementia? You know, so they're obviously going to think about that. But the thing is, that should have been a question that was asked, and it wasn't. I feel like if the information would have been asked and given from the time that first phone call was placed, I feel like things would have moved better. They would have moved quicker. At least I would hope so. So yeah, I was really never pleased with the way that the LPD handled this from the beginning. You know, from what I understand, the family was not called right away. And if they were, they're not releasing that information. But from what I understand is a member of her church called her in missing. They didn't take it seriously at first. They came out, they did their little investigation, and then the family. Why wasn't the family there with the police? I don't know if they were. They're not giving that information either, but I don't believe they were. I don't know if, because there's so much conflicting information. First they say that the church member, Nancy didn't show up to church, or maybe they tried calling her and she didn't answer. Then they called the police. I don't know why the family wasn't brought in during all this. It's just, none of it is making sense to me, and I'm no armchair detective, which I take that very offensively. And I think most LPDs or what have you would be thankful that the public is involved, that they, because egos get in the way. I did a little short video not too long ago about egos, and when it comes to finding a loved one, when it comes to finding a missing person, there are no time for egos. And from what I understand, the Pima police department, their sheriff has quite the ego. And it's not just me that thinks that, but I feel like he is a huge problem in why this case went the way it went. I'm gonna get Nancy's opinion on how she feels about it, and hopefully we can get some more information as well. So we're gonna go ahead and we're going to, hold on, let me turn this down because I don't want it to be too loud. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're going to get it started. Okay, disclaimer, I vape nicotine, that's it. Okay, so also too, the community is open to you guys. I did put in there the other day when we did our SPI session, it is up, so you can go back and you can read it and you can look at it. And then the very first one we also did is up there as well. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm going to protect myself because we are reaching out, and I am going to be focusing my energy for Nancy. Good morning, spirits. The only thing that is welcome to our conversation this morning is love, light, pure intentions, true intentions. Never fails. Whoever's making that banging noise, could you stop, please? If you are here for unruly or ugly or dark intentions, you are not welcome. You are not needed. You are not desired. I am protected. My loved ones are protected. My home, my space is protected. Nancy, I'm going to be reaching out to you this morning, dear. And I hope that you're able to have a conversation with us this morning and maybe answer some more questions for us. I am also asking for family and friends to stay back. Leave the floor open for Nancy Guthrie to come forward, please. I'm asking that you respect my request. Okay, so that being said, good morning, spirits. We just need to find her. I'm aggravated. I'm frustrated on how this whole thing went. I feel like when the sheriff put in the roadblocks and he had that whole street marked off where there was no parking, and he made the reporters' jobs no response detected. Okay, that's fine. Maybe they're not awake yet. Good morning, spirits. I am reaching out to speak with Nancy Guthrie this morning. I'm asking that you please respect my request, and I'm asking that you stand back and allow Nancy to come forward. This is my thing. It's like the reporters are not armchair detectives. The reporters are there to do their job, and that is to report the news. As you know, our life is based around technology now, and so reporting the news is done very differently. And when the sheriff made it virtually impossible for the reporters to no response detected. Okay, that's odd. Nancy, are you here with me, dear? They're being stubborn this morning. Okay, all right. The sheriff made their job very difficult to do. And there are only, I think, from what the last I heard, there's only 2 reporters out there. And it's funny because when the reporters were basically pushed out, tips stopped coming in. And this is what we were all afraid of. I'm asking my spiritual guides to guide me this morning, to help me connect with Nancy. No response detected again. What is going on? This isn't like them. Okay. Nancy, is there somebody or something stopping you from coming forward? This is very unlike our SPI. It could be me. I could be blocked for some reason this morning. I'm going to try to focus. Yes. Oh, that's what I thought. Said yes. I asked, is there somebody or something stopping you from coming forward? Okay. And she said yes. I thought so. Okay. Whoever or whatever is in Nancy's pathway, I need you to please step aside. I'm asking you to respect my request. Spirits, I am not ignoring you. I promise we will talk. But we need to help Nancy find her way home. Please let her come through. Please. I had a feeling. Well, you know, the spirits want my attention. And this is the first time that I've requested that they allow that to happen, that they allow me to have the floor, to have a one-on-one. And so it's, maybe they feel like I am ignoring them, and I'm not ignoring you. I promise you with everything in me. But we need to help Nancy, please. Let's help Nancy get back home to her family. Let's get some questions answered, some long overdue questions. Please. No response detected. They are really being stubborn this morning. Nancy, I need you to use all your strength, all your might, and step forward and speak with me this morning, please. It says fancy. It said Nancy. Nancy, I need you to use your energy and step forward, please. They are really not wanting to play nice. Okay. All right, well, struggling. She said struggling. Okay. I understand. Take your time. Oh. I'm going to try to focus. I have the fire going. So I'm going to try to focus. And she said, thank you. You're welcome, dear. Our last session, we left off with the garage. We know Nancy, from what we've been told, was in her home at one point because there was DNA found, unknown DNA found in her home, and it was a mixture. So it was mixed in, meaning it was both DNA from Nancy and from whoever did this. Apparently that is what we're waiting on to find out who the DNA belongs to. There's still a lot of back and forth theories. Was this a one-man job? Was this a two-man job? I get information shown to me as it happens. So it's almost like a reality show. Okay, let's I know it's probably the worst scenario, but I get it shown to me as it happened. So it's not like I get to see everything all at one time. And sometimes I get it wrong. I am not perfect by any means. And I feel like the times I get it wrong, it will replay it over, or it will show me something else that might rebuttal what I thought the first time. For some reason I blocked myself. Maybe that's why Nancy's having a hard time coming through. Okay, come on. Spirit guides, please help me. Please. Puppy, stop. I'm trying to focus right now. Let's just start it off slow and see where it goes. Nancy, I need to ask you, are you pleased with the way the investigation of your disappearance is going? We still have people there saying this was a break-in. I've never known anybody who broke into a house, take a body or a person with them. That's usually called a kidnapping. The ransom notes, totally fake. Again, like I told you guys, I was getting shown a coin and it was two-faced, and to me that indicates two-faced, meaning one person playing both roles. I asked her, Nancy, I need to ask you, are you pleased with the way the investigation of your disappearance is going? And she said, no. If it's any consolation, honey, none of us are. Nancy, I need to ask you a few more questions. Would that be okay, dear? I don't feel that this was a robbery. I don't feel like this person was going in to burglarize her home. Somebody who's going in to rob you doesn't take you. They're still calling this person a fumbling idiot. Oh, he definitely is a fumbling idiot. But I don't feel like it was one person. Obviously, we've got confirmation from Nancy. Again, for the sake of YouTube, I have to say, not facts, my opinion. But they are not giving this person, and I hate to put it this way, but I don't know how else to put it or how else to say it. They're not giving these people the credit. She said yes. Okay, thank you, Nancy. I asked her if it would be okay if I asked her some questions. She said yes. Patches. Sorry, the cat's in my closet. Patches, get out of my closet, please. They are advertising this person to be unintelligent. They're saying that his whole demeanor, the camera and the shrubbery and blah, blah, blah. Okay, look. The man knew the cameras were there because of the way he walked up to the door. He was trying to hide his face from the moment he walked up to the door because he had his head down. There's just so much to this that doesn't make sense. And I'm getting frustrated. And it's not even my mother. I can only imagine how Savannah must be feeling. I would be so frustrated. I would be out there combing that desert myself day and night until I found her. I'm just saying. Okay, let's get back on track here before I lose focus and go into a rambling session. Okay. Nancy, when you were taken from your home that night, the night of January 31st into the early morning of February 1st, did you exit out the back door? I could be wrong, but I feel like they went out the back. I could be wrong, but I'm being shown a back door, and to me that was an indicator that that's the way they went out. Because they were focusing a lot on the back door. And again, I don't see them going out the front door, but I could be wrong. I just feel like the back door would be the smarter way. I mean, none of this is smart. I'm not giving them credit. But I just feel like that would make more sense. Of course, none of this makes sense, so no, so I was wrong. Okay. No, okay. I asked if were you taking when you were taken from your home that night, the night of January 31st into the early morning of February 1st, did you exit out the back door? She said no. Okay. then why leave the back door open? Why leave the back door open? The neighbor said they found, or her family said they found the back door opened. So why leave the back door open if that's not the way you went out? Nancy, which path did you take when you were taken from your home that night? Meaning, which door did you use? I'm thinking too that if they had her wrapped, maybe they had this sheet over her head a little bit. It just doesn't make sense why the back door was left open if that's not the way they left. I don't see them closing up and locking up the door. I mean, yes, they were in there for 41 minutes, but I don't see front. Okay, I stand corrected. Okay, so why was the back door left open? Maybe they wanted to make it look okay. So it's the front door. Okay, so I stand corrected again. Like I said, sometimes I get these wrong, but they were never showing me the front door as an exit. Patches. She's eating the dog food. Patch is a cat who's eating my dog's dog food. Okay, so Patches. I may have to step away for a second. Get away from his food. Thank you. Okay, so Nancy, when you pulled out of your driveway, which way did they turn, left or right? So they must have pulled, because when you look at her, when you look at her property, they must have pulled right in there where it was dark, like right. I don't know if that is her garage. That's not her garage. I don't think. I think that's like a guest house or something. And it's dark right there. So oh, that was weird. It didn't answer me. Okay, let's try this again. Nancy, when you pulled away from your home, do you know if you turned left or right? They must have pulled right there in front of that guest house then, because if you pulled there, you could go around to the back. Right. Okay. Thank you, Nancy. You're doing so good. You're doing so good. Thank you. Okay. Nancy, when you were taken from your home, were there one or two men? I just want to make sure. Because again, I know she said two the last time, so I just want to make sure that we're still on the same page. Two. Okay, thank you. Nancy, did any of the men speak to you that evening? I mean, I know there was always that possibility because her blood was found in front of the door, but I was always being shown the back. I was never being shown her going out the front. And with the back door being left open, I was being shown that that was their exit. She's now clarified that no, they did go out the front, which makes sense because that is where her blood was found. But there was also, from what I understand, stuff found inside the home as well. She said yes. Okay. You're doing so good, Nancy. Keep it up. Nancy, can you tell me what it was they said to you? I know some people are going to find this type of reading maybe not fair. I know some people feel that by what we do, they don't, okay, let me try again. Nancy, what did they say to you that evening when you were in the vehicle? Come on, you're doing so good. Be quiet. They told her to be quiet. Oh my goodness. So, if I'm correct in thinking, when you were in the van, they told you to be quiet? Oh my goodness. And again, remember our very first reading, I told you she was in the home and they at one point asked her to please be quiet. So apparently she again is still testifying and trying to get free from this by being verbal with them. And again, they told her to be quiet. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. You're doing so good. Thank you, Nancy. Okay. Nancy, Did you recognize their voice? Now, you can hide your face how you want, but if this is a person that knew Nancy or knew of her or somewhere along the line had met her at one point, she's gonna know who they are by their voice. Unless they have some sort of device to disguise it, you're gonna, if you know that person, you're gonna recognize them by their voice. So, I mean, one. She recognized one. Okay, okay. You're doing amazing. You're doing amazing. Nancy, the voice that you recognized, who did it belong to? You're doing so good, Nancy. You're doing such a good job. No response detected. Okay. See, how can we answer this in a different way? Nancy, the voice that you recognized, who was it? Let's see if she can. If you hear the licking, it's the cat cleaning herself. Come on, Nancy, help us find who did this. I don't believe that this was familiar. Okay, so familiar. Okay. Was it a friend of the family? She said familiar. So the voice sounded familiar to her. Nancy, don't be afraid. You don't have to be afraid no longer. I need you to be strong. I know you're tired, love. And you are doing so, so good. But you don't need to be afraid no more. Okay? There's so many people that want so badly to bring you home. Alright, let me try again. Nancy, was the familiar voice family? You're doing so good. No. Nancy was the familiar voice and extension of your family. Patches. My goodness. One day we'll be able to get through a video with no interruptions. Familiar, so it could be somebody that, a friend of the family. It could have been a worker. It could have been somebody that she maybe passed a few times in town. I mean, Nancy's lived there in Tucson, Arizona, from what I understand, 40 plus years. So, yeah, yes. Oh, geez. Okay. I asked her if it was an extension of her family, and she said yes. Nancy, can you tell me their name? And, let's face it, a lot of us consider people that we've had working for us family. A lot of us consider people that we go to church with family. A lot of us consider our children's friends family. So, I mean, when you say extension of family, that could be anything or anybody. No. Okay. Very direct. Nancy, why can't you tell me their name? Patches. Hey, can you stop doing that, please? My goodness. Oh, stop. You're being very, very loud. Lay down. Sorry, guys. I'm having a lot of distractions going on right now, and I'm trying to focus. She might be scared. She might be afraid to tell me. Fear. Okay, Nancy, honey, you have nothing to be afraid of. We need to find you. And the only way to find you is to know who did this, to know where they took you. Please, Nancy, you are a strong lady. I'm gonna get emotional. You're a strong, strong lady. You are a strong, beautiful soul. And I need you to be so strong right now. Please, Nancy. Please don't be afraid. Please. You have no reason to be afraid. Okay, Nancy. If you don't want to tell me their full name, can you tell me their last name? Nancy, if you don't want to tell me their name, can you please give me the initials of their name? She's afraid. She won't tell me out of fear. She's afraid. Oh, that poor baby girl. That poor woman. Even now, she's still afraid. I can only imagine what she must have been feeling. You know, you see this stuff on TV. You know, it's not real, it's pretend. M. That's so good, Nancy. Thank you. Can you tell me, is that the initial of their first name or the initial of their last name? First. Okay, very good, very good. You're doing so good. You are doing such a great job, Nancy. Now, can you give me the initial of their last name, please? T. Thank you, Nancy. You're doing such a great job. Okay. So we got M and T. M and T. Struggling. But you are doing so good. Thank you, Nancy. She said struggling. I'm getting overheated. My window, I usually have it cracked, but it's closed right now. Okay, so silent. Okay, we're gonna be nice. We're gonna leave the floor closed if you don't be nice. Okay, so the person that was speaking to her have the initials MT. Now, according to Nancy, please. I told them, I said, we're going to be nice. We're going to leave the floor closed if you don't be nice. And it said, please. So we have the initials MT. Nancy said M is the first initial, T is the last. Okay. We are at our hour mark, so we are going to have to leave it here. And we'll just keep nipping this in the bud. I do want to thank the spirits and Nancy for speaking with us this morning. So I'm going to thank them, and then we're going to close out the session. Nancy, I just want to say thank you for speaking with me this morning. Faint. Spirits, thank you for coming forward this morning. Thank you for allowing Nancy to have the floor. She said faint, but she could be meaning that it wasn't very strong communication with her this morning. And I just thanked the other spirit, so it's listening. I am feeling a little blocked this morning, so I will say that I did rely a lot on the SPI this morning. I don't know why. Forever. I don't know why I'm feeling so blocked this morning. It could be because she is confused. It also could be that because I'm going to ask her one more question. Nancy, I need to ask you one more question. Would that be okay? It is hard sometimes. I feel like when it's newer is when I get my strongest connection. And when it's an older case, it's harder for me to really focus, especially my surroundings right now. I'm, like I mentioned before, I'm busy moving. I'm trying to pack and everything. So once I get to my home, because right now I'm going to be up TMI, but I'm transparent. Right now I've been staying with a friend until I got back on my feet, trying to get through disability and everything, which is always fun. But I am in the process of getting my own place, and I've been in the process of packing. So once I'm in my own home, it's going to be a lot different. There's going to be less distractions. I'm in the city right now, which I do not like the city, so I am moving to the countryside of the world. I did ask her if I could ask her one more question, that would be okay, and she did reply. She said yes. Okay. Actually, Nancy, it's one question, but it's a compound question. Nancy, do they have you hidden in a cave or a tunnel? She said no, so I'm going to ask it differently. Nancy, did they take you to a cave? Near. Near. Okay. Near a cave. Nancy, do they have you in a valley near a cave? Nancy, do they have you in a valley near a cave? I don't know. The first question did not come out correctly, so I asked again. So we'll see. You have to really enunciate your words. And it's hard to do because I do my sessions whispering, so it's really hard to enunciate sometimes. Okay, so she said yes to the first question that came up backwards, and then I reset it. So the first answer was yes, and we'll see what the second answer is. Because it came out, the first one, it was, Nancy, do they have you in a valley near Arca, A-R-C-A? And she said yes, but it was supposed to be a cave. So we'll see what she said. Yes, okay. So she did understand what I was saying. Okay, good, good. Okay, Nancy, you're doing so, so good, love. So you're in a valley near a cave. Nancy, do you know the location of that valley near a cave? I know I said a few more questions, but no, she doesn't look okay. She said no. Nancy, do you know if you drove for a long time to get to the location you're at? No. Oh, gosh. I'm getting scared. Okay. I'm just going to ask it. I don't want to, but I need to. Nancy, were you conscious when you were taken from your home the early morning of February 1st? She must have been, because she said she heard the voice. But she could be confused. It could be the voice that she heard before she left the house. Spirits get confused too, especially barely. Oh God. Okay, I was afraid of that. Okay. You're doing so good, Nancy. You're doing so good, love. Nancy, the morning of February 1st, they found blood at your front door. It came back being your blood. Do you remember where it came from? Head. I knew it. I knew it. I told you when I saw the blood, it was the head. It was either behind or the side. Nancy, how did they get into your house? Oh, we are like way over our hour mark, but that's okay. You okay? Okay, stop. Key. Oh my gosh. Okay. Was it the front door they came into, or was it the back door they came into? Yeah, because there was no damage on any of the doors. So it wasn't a break-in. They didn't break into the house. A robber's not going to have a key to your home. There are a few out there that are still saying this was a robbery went wrong. That is absolutely ridiculous. Even if it was, they're not going to take her with them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want my energy to be obnoxious because then it messes with... I'm just very angry for you, Nancy. Can you stop that, please? Thank you. Stop. Front. Okay. Front. So they came into the front. They went out the front. But why was the back door open? Nancy, the morning of February 1st, when your family and police came to your home, they found your back door opened. Do you know why it was opened? Feeling as blocked as I was earlier. And what I mean by that is when I'm feeling really blocked, my head feels heavy, like I'm trying to walk and I'm hitting a wall. It's feeling lighter. I don't feel that pressure on the front of my head anymore. That's okay. That's okay. So they had a key. It was an extension of family. The voice was familiar. So they took her from her bed. I have to clarify. Nancy, the early morning of February 1st, when all of this happened, when you were taken from your home, did they take you from your bed? It didn't work. Hold on. If you're not pressing down on the microphone the correct way, it won't. So let me ask again. Nancy, the early morning of February 1st, when you were taken from your home, were you taken from your bed? There it goes. Okay. It's very fickle. You have to make sure your thumb's on the microphone correct way or it won't pick it up. So she was barely conscious. I asked her if she was conscious when she was taken. She said barely. Oh gosh, this is confirming a lot of things that I've been going back and forth with in my head. And there's a lot, like I said, and as if you've been following the case, there's a lot of theories out there on what happened. And sometimes you get answers. No, she was not taken from her bed. Okay. And one of the theories was that she was taken from her bed. She just said no. Okay. Nancy, were you awake when they entered your home? No. Okay. If you weren't taken from your bed, where were you sleeping? Again, spirits get confused too, guys. Okay. Nancy, what part of the house were you in when you were taken? She said she wasn't taken from her bed. She said she wasn't awake. So what part of the house were you in? Hall. Okay. Okay. Were you on your way to go to bed? Is that how they found you, in the hallway? That might be too much of a confusing question. I'm thinking that maybe she got up to use the restroom and was walking back to her bedroom. And maybe that startled them because they thought she'd be sleeping. Or she heard noise at the front and she went to see what it was. Like my first feeling, and maybe as she was going toward that way, they were coming in, so she was running down the hallway. Yes. Okay. Okay. You're doing so good, Nancy. My question was, were you on your way to go to bed? Is that how they found you in the hallway? She said yes. Nancy, did you ever make it to your bedroom? Okay, we're gonna have to make this our last question, guys. I was trying to upload the other day and it took me all day to upload our last video, so I don't know if YouTube is having issues again, because sometimes they do. So this is going to have to be our last question. No. Okay. Okay, Nancy. Thank you so much for speaking with me this morning. You did amazing. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Again, for the sake of YouTube, I have to say, not facts, my opinion. We did get some more questions cleared up. I think we left off, or we picked up where we left off our last session. If you have not seen that video yet, please go take a look at it. If you've not subscribed yet, please do so. It really does help my channel grow. For you that have subscribed, thank you so much and welcome. This is just a gift that I was born with, and sometimes I incorporate either the Spirit Talker and now the new app that we have, the SPI. She's so weary. You don't have to be weary of me. Nancy, you don't have to be weary of me, dear. I am not here to hurt you. I am not here to cause harm to you. I'm just simply here to help you. I have a gift that I was born with, and since your disappearance, I have been drawn to help you. Please don't be weary. You don't have to be afraid. If you hear snoring, it's the cat. She snores now. And she's sleeping with her eyes halfway open and snoring at the same time. It's kind of creepy looking, actually. She's like, I'm watching you, but I'm sleeping at the same time. Nodding. Okay, Annie. I don't know. Nodding is what she said. Alright, so we're going to close out now. Spirits, when I close out this session, that means the conversation is over with. That means you are not to stay, you are not to linger, you must go. Spirits, I promise you that you will have my full undivided attention very soon. But right now we need to help Miss Nancy. So please do your part and help us help her. Thank you, spirits, for coming forward. Thank you, Nancy, so much. You did so good today. Thank you, thank you. Okay. And we're going to end it. Okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Again, I will have a conversation. I will take screenshots of it, and it will be posted in our community tab. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you all very, very much. Again, this is a gift that I was born with, and that this is a very vulnerable thing I'm doing. So this isn't something I share with a lot of people. But here we are. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Click that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop a video. And yeah,